Now we can move on to playing with some other things. Now you see why I bought the Insta360. It mounts so easily on the 7-inch. Okay, what are we doing here? Well, we're going to put on another RFID module inside this frame, so I don't have to take them apart and switch these from platform to platform. But this drone tag DRI is going to end up right there on top of that buzzer. That's the extent of it. I hope this stays in focus. I'm going to be real easy on myself. This is the front here of the craft. Boy, that solder right there just didn't really go well, did it? Oh well, the rest of them look pretty good. I'm going to be easy on myself. I'm going to use TX8 and RX8 right here that don't have a bunch of wires on them. There's another UART right here. 3, transmit and receive right there, and there's ground. And if you move these wires around a little bit, you'll find 5 volts. There's the ground. Next one over is actually 5 volts. Trust me, I've kind of moved that wire a little bit because I was going to go for this UART right here, but I decided to make it easier on myself. This one's over here, TX8, won't make a bit of difference. TX8 is over here, and it's just nothing around it. Be easier to solder to. And right here I can pick up my 5 volts and ground right here. That's the 4 wires I'll be connecting here. And this area here is also kind of away from stuff. I do have a ground right here and a VBAT, but I don't want to put full VBAT on that. I think the 5 volts over here right there will be best. Let me show you this on the screen. Boy, I did have to check that one. That's just really a bad soldering job there. But I use the probe, the end of this, to scrape through them, and it's still electrically all pretty sound. But those two right there, it's because of this post being in the way of soldering and everything. But anyway, let's look at this on the screen. Maybe you can see it better. And this is what we're talking about here. This edge here is facing forward in that platform. This was the RX3 and TX3 that I was talking about. I could have used right there. Could have gone across these 4 pads right here. UART3 receive, UART3 transmit, ground, and 5 volts. Because I'm actually in there on these 4 with the video transmitter, I'm not using the RX there, just to transmit, I think. And there's wires coming all the way from the back here, all the way across the flight controller to these pads. I just don't want to, especially the 5 volts and grounds, I just really don't want to solder to those, try to get in there. So I am going to use, as I said, UART8 over here, transmit and receive, and this 5 volts and ground right here, just because they're just simple and easy to get to. More simple than the rest of them. And this is the wiring I'm using for the drone tag DRI. We'll use the connector on the left. That's the controller port. The one on the right's the forwarding port. I'm not using that, and therefore I'm going to use pins 1, 2, and 3, VCC receive and transmit for a UART,
and pin 6 ground. Only going to use those 4. I'm not going to use pins 4 and 5. Request to send, clear to send. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn that off in the Ardocopter firmware.
Sorry about hand holding this shot, but there's the transmit and receive wires, and there's the voltage and ground, and there's the remote ID chip hot glued in on top of the buzzer. That's it. Close it back up. And there it is, back together. No, I'm not flying the Insta360 yet. That's why I did buy the Insta360, because I thought that would be great on this and the 5-inch, but not yet. So it's all back together. Now we just have to do a little bit of software configuration inside Ardocopter, and we're done.
Well, rats, I can't do that. RX8 is shared on the board on a pad, but it's also the UART that's used inside the ESC connector. Damn it. So right there's RX8 being used, so I cannot use TX8 and RX8 right here. I'm going to have to move those 2 wires. I had it all back together. Man. Oh, I can't believe it. I'll have to see real quick if there's something else I can get to easier than this TX3 and RX3 right here. I guess I can take the nuts off this post here and be able to get to that better, but I've got to open it all back up again. Rats, rats, rats.
Oh man, what a bummer. I've got to go into that corner right there for TX3 and RX3. Just have to move these 2 wires, that's it, but sure is tight in there. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Well, there you go. There they both are on TX and RX3 instead of 8 down here. Took them off of right here, put them right up there. Wasn't too bad. Okay, we're all back together yet again, and now we'll do some software stuff.
So now we are talking about UART3 up here in this corner. These 2 pads. I moved it from these 2 pads on UART8 to these 2 pads on UART3 because of the analog, the ESC's telemetry comes through RC8 in truth. And I didn't want to turn that off. I think I could have, but 2 little connections right here. So we're talking about UART3. UART3 right here is serial 4. So now we can go into that platform. Connect. And we can go to serial 4 in the main perimeter list. And we will set that from a 5, which is for GPS's, to how's my GPS hooked into this platform? I hope it's not on a CAN bus. Oh man, 4 may be used up. Layout. Let's see. Yeah, it does have a CAN, but I don't think I'm doing that. I think I'm using a straight UART. Yeah, I think I used 7. So we can go into serial 4 and change it from GPS to Mavlink 2. From 5 to 2, boom. And from 38.4 to 115.200. We can write those parameters out. And then there's the one other clear to send. That was BRD underscore SER underscore void serial clear to send request to send needs to be disabled. 0 ping right, and that should have everything working. I am going to have to go back and look and see where I've got my GPS and compass connected. I think I've got it right across here with 6 connections on UART2 plus using this for the compass here. So right across these 6, I can look back at some of these videos and see that that's what I have. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So there is a CAN bus wouldn't interfere with it, even if there was a CAN bus on this. And there is. This wouldn't interfere with it. There's not a UART inside there. My bad. Totally. This one is the one that I moved it because it can interfere. CAN bus doesn't at all. So no, I don't have a problem. What I just did should make it 100%.
All right, so that pretty much puts the finishing touches on this before it's played with, flown, tested. So that puts the 2 quads basically to bed until broken parts or some problem crops up that I have to do a video on. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. And tomorrow we'll be back on the airplanes. Tomorrow and the next day I have doctor's appointments most days, so both Wednesday and Thursday. All right, later. Thank you.